Hello, my name is Raymond Aaron, New York Times top 10 best-selling author and serial entrepreneur, and I make a lot of money. But I did not say that to boast, honestly. In fact, I don't even like that I said that. But I do want to tell you how I make money. Why? Because I want you to be able to make money the same way. And that is communication. I have learned that the secret to wealth is communication. And let's look at the opposite. The secret to broke is being a hermit. If you're a hermit living in a little cave and you never talk to anybody, then for sure you can't make any money. Well, the opposite is also true. If you communicate the right way, money comes to you. Have you had the experience where you knock on doors to try to get a job, you knock on doors to try to get patients or clients, you knock on doors by putting ads out there, you knock on doors, you just keep knocking and knocking, you keep putting yourself out there, but you don't get the return on your investment. You just don't have enough clients, you just don't have the income that you want. Well, running after money is not going to get you there, communication will. And I know, not because I'm a public speaker, I'm not asking you to do that. I'm saying every time you speak, do you speak during the day? Of course you speak during the day. And when you speak, one of the purposes of speaking is just communicating and making social connections with people. But sometimes it's a more directed communication where you're trying to influence the other person. It could be non-financial. You might be trying to influence your spouse. You might be trying to influence your kids to do what you want. But in a business setting, influencing correctly means that you get the result that you want, which always means that you make money. You might be influencing a prospect to buy from you, so they go from prospect to client, or you might be influencing a client to upsell or purchase more from you. And when you do, if the result of your communication is positive, you make money. And so I've noticed that I only focus on great communication in order to make a great deal of money. And I've never taught this before, ever. I have been on stage for over 30 years, since May of 1983, teaching how to get rich, and I never taught that communication is the key to wealth. And so I've decided to teach a course. It's called Communication, Money, and You. I'm going to teach it once. I don't know why I'm only going to teach it once, but it's like the biggest secrets that I've got. So I'm going to teach it once. I've never taught it before. I'm never going to teach it again. Once, and it's available for you. So this is the exact right time. It's very short fuse because you've heard this. It's going to come up once. That's it. If you can come, great. If you can't, that's it. And what am I going to teach you? Well, I'm going to teach you lots of stuff. But I'm going to teach you every technique that I use that really, really works. I've been honing this for 30 years. And I'm going to teach you how to communicate with people one-on-one or one-on-few, so that would be like in a boardroom or to a small group of people, or one-on-many if you have the opportunity of being on stage. But most people just communicate one-on-one, and that's fine. That's exactly what you're going to learn. Let me give you one example. I call it the 4 wealth ways. There's 4 wealth ways to communicate with people, and you are only allowed to use one with each person that you talk to. Why? Because each person, unbeknownst to you at the moment, has one way that they want to receive information. And when you give them information using this one way out of 4, they resonate with you, they love you, they feel a gigantic emotional connection. And as you know, facts tell, stories sell. But that's not the real truth. It's not stories that sell. It's emotionality that sells. And if I try to connect with you in a way that does not work with you, nothing will happen. But if I connect with you in the correct warmth way, then it will. And so I'm going to tell you the 4 wealth ways. The first one is called acts of service. Acts, A-C-T-S, acts of service. And what that means is, if you love acts of service, then and that's how you like to do things. That's like how you like to show your love for other people, how you like to do business is serving them. Then when I talk to you about delivering acts of service to you, you will resonate with that. You will feel good. You'll say, oh yeah, Raymond's my man. On the other hand, quality time is the second wealth way. So lawyers do this a lot. Lawyers say your first half hour is free. The people who love the wealth way of quality time, for example, the people who like just spending quality time with their spouse or their kids or their clients, they will react to that. They will resonate with that, and they'll say, that's a lawyer that I like to do business with. But for example, quality time is not what I cherish. What I cherish is acknowledgement. Acknowledgement. And so I acknowledge you, I respect you, I acknowledge my clients, I acknowledge my staff. And when someone acknowledges me, I just sit up and beam. So that's the fourth way. The third way is gifts. Some people love gifts and some people don't. You might say everybody loves gifts. No, I don't. I do not love gifts. I'm what's called a minimalist. My home is very expensive. The artwork on the walls is very expensive, magnificent, gorgeous artwork. My furniture is very, very elegant and expensive. All the appliances in my home are first class. But otherwise, the home is minimalist. It's very, very neat and clean. You know how other people have little things on their mantle, they have little things on shelves, and it's very warm if that's what you like. I don't like it. My home is completely minimalist. If you give me a gift, I'm telling you the truth, I hate to admit it, if you give me a gift, it'll be for sale on eBay that night. I'm not interested in gifts. So the more you give me gifts, the less I'm interested in you. If you're trying to sell something to me, or if you're trying to befriend me in some way in order to make a connection with me, the more you give me gifts, the less I like you. So you might be saying, my gosh, I'm going to give him a bigger and bigger gift in order to try to get me to do something. And it'll work less and less and less because I don't want gifts. And quality time and acts of service, they're okay, but they don't really resonate with me. But tell me how many people I've influenced. Tell me how many lives I've changed. Tell me how many people are millionaires because of me, and tell me how much you love that I do that, and I will beam away. Now, I can't in this brief video tell you exactly more details of those four, and I certainly can't tell you how to identify it in the person you're speaking to. But once you understand these four wealth ways better, and once you know how to, within less than a minute, spot which one of the wealth ways relates to the person that you're talking to, as soon as you know that, then you will use only that technique when you're speaking to them. Only that technique, only that wealth way, and they will just resonate. You will see them emotionally connecting with you, and then whatever it is that you want to influence them to do, whether it's non-financial in your family or in your church, or whether it's financial, you want to sell them something or offer them a product or service, it'll work 50 times better than it does now. Your percent closing will go wildly up. The degree to which people will want to do things for you will wildly increase, and your income will rise. Your income will absolutely rise. So, in order to really teach you not just the four wealth ways, but every single communication technique, I've condensed it into a 2-day experiential program called Communication, Money, and You. Why communication? Because communication is the way to make money. Why money? Because that's what you want. Why you? Because the workshop is about you, more intensely than any workshop I've ever offered before. You see, in most workshops, I stand at the front and I teach you really great stuff, and then you write in your notebook, and it's the notebook that is clever, and hopefully, indirectly, you become clever in the ways that I teach. But not Communication, Money, and You. This is an experiential workshop where I'll teach you some information, and then you have a drill on it. You actually learn how to use it right there, and once you've done the drill, you'll have a little awkwardness and such, and you'll ask questions. You'll say, oh, that's how you do it. Okay, good. And then we'll do another drill until everyone has aced it. That means that when you go outside in the real world and try to do it, you'll already know. Your questions will already be answered. Any difficulties that you would have experienced out there, you'll have already experienced it in the drill and become an expert in doing it. So what else am I going to teach you besides the four wealth ways? Well, one of them is called the 5 communication methods. There are 5 ways to communicate with people. 5 different techniques that you use when you're communicating with people. And different people like different techniques. And you have to be able to identify which technique works for that person and talk to them only in that one technique. And if you're not sure, or if you're in a group, there's always one of the 5 that works for the greatest majority of people. And so if you're not sure, use that one technique. But as soon as you learn how to identify it, use the specific technique that they wish to hear in, and you will dramatically increase your income. There's also something I called the one sentence. The one sentence, and that sentence is 4 words long. You might say, how much wisdom can there be in a 4-word sentence? Believe me, that is like my biggest secret to success. I will teach you the one sentence. I will teach you the 4 wealth ways, and we'll do drills on it. And I will teach you the 5 communication methods. And I want you to hear something, listen very carefully to what I'm going to say right now. That's all before the first break. That's all before the first break. You won't believe how much you're going to be able to learn, but not just learn, become a master in through the experiential drills. I've never taught it before, never given away these communication secrets before. I'm never going to teach it again. Got no plans ever again. This is it. This is your opportunity. So I've taken everything I know, I put it all together. You're going to learn all those before the first break, plus more and more and more and more and more. I will have a rule in that workshop. Anytime you have a question, put up your hand that minute. It's not like ask me at the break or ask me at the end, because I don't want to go on till every single person understands everything. Also, because I'm going to work intensely and intimately with each person, I'm going to have a small room, and that's why the number of seats, the number of people I will allow is very, very limited. Amazing course. This is like a master's course, and it takes a lot of energy out of me to give away my best communication secrets. I'm only going to do it once. This is your opportunity. Click on the link below. Get into this event. I've got a special feature so that when you bring guests, it's a huge benefit to you. You're going to love it. I can't wait to see you there. I'm going to share it once with you, a few other people, and that's it. Make sure you're in that room.